Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. You know, one of the nicest things that happened to us in our town over the holidays is that we got a new Shake Shack. It opened right here, and I'm a big fan of Shake Shack for lots of reasons. I'm a fan of Danny Meyer, the restaurateur who started this chain. I love their burgers. I really love their new chicken sandwich. They serve craft beer, and they've got a brand new app that allows you to order, place the order and pay for it, and then pick it up at an appointed time. You don't have to wait online. This is like music to my ears. I feel like I've died and gone to heaven. Lots of metaphors here. But the business lesson, for I think any business, has to be more than let's keep the content guy happy, although I am happy. Oh, I didn't even mention this. I can walk here from my house and my office. It's so cool. Anyway, the thing is about this space is until recently, it was occupied by a Chuck's Steakhouse. Now, I have to say, the Chuck's Steakhouse was a business that was long past its prime, pun intended. I mean, it was tired, it was old, it was not retro at all, it was just exhausting. And I gotta tell you, you go to the salad bar, and it would look like some of the vegetables there had been there since the 50s. It wasn't just the format that was from the 50s, it looked like the food had been there that long. It was just awful. The thing is, when Chuck's announced that they were going to be selling this location, and trust me, they weren't selling it because business was good, there were a lot of people in this town who said, oh, no, you can't let Chuck's close. It's a landmark. It's been there forever. You know, even when this thing was open, there were people saying, oh, I really miss Chuck's. Now, I tend to think that they were more in love with the idea of Chuck's than the thing of Chuck's, that Chuck's itself. I suspect that they probably hadn't been there for a long time. They passed it, they thought good things about it, but they'd never really been inside. It was a tired old format, and it deserved to go. Now, I gotta tell you, this is not a town that is progressive. The town I live in is the town that was featured in Gentleman's Agreement. Things are a little bit better, but not a lot. They're not big on new things like Shake Shack. But to me, there's a real business lesson here, because the thing about Chuck's is not just that it was old, it's that the owners allowed it to get old. They allowed it to be less than relevant. They allowed it to kind of become irrelevant in terms of what customers wanted. They weren't up to date in terms of what customers wanted. It was way past their prime, and the thing about becoming irrelevant is it's a choice. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because people don't get up in the morning and say to themselves, man, I gotta compete. I gotta wake up in the morning like my hair is on fire. I gotta behave each day like somebody's going to compete for share of stomach or a share of my business. If you don't operate that way, if you don't act like compete is a verb, eventually you're gonna become irrelevant. And listen, the same thing goes for these guys. 10 years from now, if Shake Shack is the same way it is as it is today, they will be going down the same path that Chuck's did. Now, my daughter, as it happens, has a really good point about this. It so happens that the Shake Shack is, pretty close to I-95, just down the road there. Her point is, and I think it's a good one, is if these guys allow themselves to think, well, we're going to have all that traffic that gets off 95, we don't have to worry about repeat business because everybody's transient, that's not a good thing to do. They have to maintain community support because that's the foundation upon which you build a successful business. They have to do that every day. There's a line from the great Vin Scully that I absolutely love. In fact, I'm adopting it as my personal mantra for 2017. I'm going to think it every day as I work on Morning Newsbeat, and I'm going to put it over my computer. In fact, I'm building a new presentation around it. The line goes like this: good is not good when better is expected. You can't just afford to be good. You've got to be better every day. It's what Vin Scully did in his career. It's what every business has to do as they go forward. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this Thursday morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.